Welcome to the Empower L podcast. I'm your host, Vero, and I'm so excited to have you join me on this journey of empowerment and growth. This podcast is designed for ambitious, high-achieving women who are ready to break free from overwhelm and step into their power. Together, we'll explore practical strategies, share inspiring stories, and hear from experts who can help you navigate the challenges of balancing ambition and well-being. Whether you're looking to cultivate confidence, transform your mindset, enhance your leadership skills, or find harmony in your life, this is the place for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Empower L podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to learn about something that could shift the way that you lead and live. Today, I am giving you a life update. So, let's take a deep breath and let's dive in. So, I typically record these episodes quite a bit in advance, but I am recording this the week before it launches. I feel like there's a lot that's been going on in my mind lately, and this is one of those where I'm just pressing record and talking to you. So first, I want to just say that this is episode 16, and 16 has always been my number. So this was not planned at all, that I am giving you a life update on number 16, but somehow it feels right and it feels in alignment. It's been my ringette number my whole life. I mean, since I've been 5 years old. So it just seems really fitting. And before I pressed record, I was gonna go fix my hair because I just woke up like this basically. And then I realized I'm going to a fitness class once I am done recording this. And I always said that I would show up authentically as who I am, that you were always going to get the real and raw me. So I really caught myself and I was like, why would I do that? I'm hoping that if you're here, you're not here because of what you see on your screen and because of how I look when I show up on the podcast or on social media, but you're here for the message that is behind it. So I don't think that you'll care what my hair looks like. And I don't care what my hair looks like. So here we are. I have just pressed record, like I said, and I just want to talk to all of you and be with all of you. So what has been going on? I feel like the idea for this business came a year and a half. We're getting close to 2 years ago. And there's definitely been a lot of ups and downs and a lot of changes. And of course, the vision just keeps getting updated and keeps getting better and keeps getting tweaked as I go and as I learn new things. However, I'm a year and a half in and I have not launched my program yet. And there is no reason for that aside from me stopping myself. And I realized something last week. Actually, I shouldn't say I realized something. Someone pointed out something to me that I knew, that was in the back of my head, but when you hear it from someone else, it just hits really differently. So I know that I've been doing this for a while and that have been talking about it for a while, but haven't really done the thing. And it has been kind of nagging at me lately, how I'm playing small, but I haven't really taken the time and the energy to dive into why that is, because it can be scary to dive into that. And it's like once you uncover that, and you really reflect on it, you can't unsee it. And it almost forces you to get yourself out of it. And so I've been having those thoughts in the back of my mind, but I hadn't like attacked them and uncovered them. And I am part of a coaching program right now. And in our group session last week, we went around the table and everyone was sharing where they were at with their goals and with their business. And I said, I'm creating my coaching program right now, and then I'll be ready to launch it. Like, I can't sell the program until it's finished being created. And as those words were coming out of my mouth, I already knew what the facilitator was going to say, because I've known that I'm doing this. And right away, he told me, no, you have to sell the program before it's created. And listen, this might seem like a really weird concept to you if you're not in this world, but it's something that I know and that I've been ignoring and that I've been not doing. And that's why I am saying that I am playing small. I've been stuck in the planning and the creating, because that's the fun part. That's the part where there's no block. There's no rejection. I mean, if you're not trying to sell anything and not trying to put yourself out there and not trying to get customers that you can help, then no one's going to say no to you, because you're not asking for anything. And so I have known that I've been stuck in that and not really fully putting myself out there because it feels safe and comfortable, and telling myself that my program needs to be done and completed before I try to sell it, because it just keeps me in my comfort zone for longer. And like I mentioned, as I was saying those words, I already knew what the answer was going to be. And I knew that that meant that I had to start moving differently and that I had to start doing things differently. And it did really kick my butt. I almost regretted saying that, because now I can't go back. I can't unhear it. I can't go back to my coaching session in a week and say, oh yeah, remember what you told me? And this quote unquote breakthrough that I had, well, I did nothing with it. So I have to do something now. So I did. I've started doing some reach outs and sending a few messages this morning to people that I think could really benefit from what I have to offer. So I guess I just want you to hear that if you're playing small at something and you're staying stuck, try to see what's deeper from there. And I did some of that reflection myself. And to be honest, I think that it's both a fear of failure and a fear of success. Once again, this might sound really weird, but hopefully some of you out there can connect with me. So I think the fear of failure is probably easy to understand. I'm someone who has been successful in my life at whatever I've attacked, at whatever I've tried to accomplish. I've pretty much been able to achieve my goals and get what I have wanted in life so far. So I've shared before that I grew up with this identity and this image of being the smart one who would do what people around me expected of me and did the right things and followed the right path and checked the right boxes. And I've kind of blown up my life in a sense by deciding to go a different route, by deciding to not work in accounting anymore, by deciding to start going part-time at my corporate job, by deciding to launch this business in a very non-traditional career. So if I'm not successful at it, then I want to say what's my identity going to be, but I'm really trying to not identify with that anymore. However, I do still have high standards, and I want to keep those high standards. I don't think that that is a bad thing, to want to do things well and to want to have a high quality to the work that I do. But I think it would be hard for me to accept if I'm not successful. And I understand that failure is part of the process. I really do. I don't mind some failures along the way, but I would have a hard time being at the quote unquote end. There's never really an end, but I would have a hard time feeling like I've put everything that I had into this and it not be successful. Because then I would feel like it would be a reflection on me that I'm not successful. And so by playing small and by not fully jumping in and by not fully committing, if it fails, then it's so much easier to say, oh, well, I didn't really try. And I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with and go through. So there's definitely part of this that is that fear of failure. Now, what about the fear of success? So all of the successes that I've had in my life so far, yes, were stretching me, but they were things that I knew that I could do. So when I started my CPA, I knew that it was going to be difficult, but I knew that I would be able to eventually earn my CPA. I knew that I just don't want to be anymore, a good accountant. I knew that I would be able to be successful at those things, even if they weren't easy. But being a business owner is completely different. And I have spent most of my life telling myself that I didn't want to be a business owner, that I didn't have the personality and the characteristics, that's a hard word for a French girl, to be a business owner. And now I'm deciding to be a business owner, and I'm scared that if the offer that I put out there and what I put out there is successful, because I'm not scared about the helping women part. I know that I can help women. I am more scared of, am I able to actually handle being an entrepreneur? Am I enough? Am I gritty enough? Do I really have what it takes? Like, I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs that they are the kind of people that will do whatever it takes to make it work. And I don't know that I have that whatever it takes mentality inside of me. And I don't know that I want it, because I think that that can go into some unhealthy behaviors of not having a good balance, a good integration, of going into hustle so hard that you completely lose yourself. And that is not at all what I want to do. But it really makes me question whether I actually have what it takes to be a successful business owner. So I do have that fear of, if my program is successful, am I going to be able to keep it up? Am I going to be able to run the business the way that I want it to? So there's definitely that fear there as well. And it all ties into subconsciously why I've been playing small. Because while I am playing small, there won't be failure, because I'm not really putting myself out there. But there also won't be success for the exact same reason. So I've really just been keeping myself safe, but keeping myself safe won't get me what I actually want. So these are some of the things that have been going on in my brain and going on in my life. And this is just this side of my life that is my business. There's also changes going on in my corporate job, which are exciting, but still outside of my comfort zone. So I'm moving from an accounting position to a coaching, mentorship, in leadership position. So I'm coaching a brand new manager who doesn't have any management experience. And as much as that aligns a lot more with what I want to do with my life and is actually a really good practice for when I launch my coaching program, which I'm launching it, I promise you, it's still very new. So I am also kind of feeling lost in that world. It's something that we're trying. It's not something that's been done before in the center where I work. And so I'm really kind of having to build out the role and decide myself what I'm doing and how I'm helping. So it is using more of my energy and is it's a bit of a challenge to be again drained at the end of a workday, where I was to a point in my accounting role where I just knew how it worked. And unless there was really big issues or something really big happening, I wasn't all that drained at the end of the day. And now I'm just having to think differently than I have had to think before. And it's a lot more creative. I do enjoy it a lot more, but it's definitely an adjustment. And then on top of that, there's everything that Alex has going on in his business. So he is not someone who brags about this, but his business is a lot bigger than people think. He has over 70 employees. There's 3 divisions, and his goal and his vision is really big. And he's working really hard towards that. He's making a lot of great strides toward that. I'm being careful not to share too much because it's not really my story to share, and there's parts of this that are still not complete and not public knowledge yet. So yeah, I'm just being careful about my words and about what I'm actually sharing. But it's really exciting. It's also really stressful on him. And while he is someone who typically handles that very well, I'm someone who just always thinks about it. And so it's also taking some of my mental energy just to kind of make sure that he's good. When he bought the business, I remember I said, I know that for the next few years, your focus will be making sure that the business is okay. So my focus will be to make sure that you're okay. And that is the most important thing to me. So my relationship will always be my priority on top of everything else. As much as I love this business that I'm building, my relationship with Alex will always take priority on the business. So it is taking a lot of mental bandwidth to kind of know what's going on, just enough to not ask too much when it's just not the time and place to go into these deep conversations, but to making sure that he's good and that he's okay. And so that is also taking quite a bit of space in my head. So there's just, there's been a lot happening, but I really wanted to share with all of you where I'm at, what's been happening. I'm not here to share the perfect Instagram life and for you to think that I have everything figured out. I am figuring this shit out as I go. And it's not easy, but it's fun. And I'm really enjoying it. And I'm excited to see what's coming next and what the next steps are. So, with all of that being said, I am opening the doors to my coaching program because I have to and I want to. But I'm really excited to finally be sharing this with all of you and what I've been working on. And another thing that the facilitator of the program said, he said, once you've sold your program, you're gonna figure it out. Like, you're going to have the program created and ready to go for the women that are there to learn and to have a transformation. And I know that that is true because my standards are too high to have a group of women that are ready to level up in their life and me not have anything ready for them. And I already have the structure. I already know what the program's going to be. It's really just creating the videos and the worksheets and putting everything together, which, if it really comes down to it, I know that I can do that week by week if I need to. I don't need to have all of it completed before we start week 1. So you probably want to know what this is all about. So the coaching program is called Aligned and Unstoppable. It is a 20-week program. You'll go through 3 major steps. So first is clarity and vision alignment. So the first part is really determining what you want your life to look like. And you're probably in a spot where you're actually successful. You've achieved the things that you've set out to achieve. And now you're realizing that it doesn't even feel good. It's probably not goals that you actually wanted. It's what you thought you were supposed to do. You're feeling completely lost and disconnected and anxious and wondering if this is what life is about because you've checked the boxes, you've climbed the ladder, you've done what you were supposed to do, and none of it is fulfilling. None of it feels good. None of it feels powerful. So the first step is really to take a step back and really evaluate what is important to you and what you actually want your life to look like, and especially to feel like. Because I think if we focus on what we want it to look like, then that's where we're saying, I want the title and I want the position and I want to be this business owner and I want to be a mom and I want to be a wife and I want to be. But how do you want to feel? Do you want to wake up every day feeling anxious and scared about what's to come, not knowing how you're going to get through the day? Or do you want to wake up every day and feel excited about what's coming and feel aligned with what you're doing every single day? So the first step is to figure that out. Next, it's really goal setting and aligned planning. So you've probably all heard about SMART goals, and while I think that that's great, I go above and beyond a SMART goal. So I have the Empower Ed framework to set a goal that feels good and that makes sense and that you're not going to burn out trying to achieve that goal. So we're going to go through setting goals that feel good, but also through the whole action planning and really figuring out the steps that you need to take to reach those goals and how you can do that in a way that feels good. And then we'll finish it off with making sure that you have the productivity strategies for sustainable success. So this is all well and good, but if you don't have the knowledge and the strategies in place to be able to actually sustain what you've learned and sustain this transformed life of yours, then once the program is over, you'll just go back to how things used to be. And that is not the goal. I want to make sure that you will leave this with a brand new path, a brand new way forward that feels so authentic to you. So the goal is really a full transformation. This is for you if you're at a place where you're feeling so stuck And like I said earlier, you've done all the things. You are successful, and it just doesn't feel good. But you're someone who is ambitious. You don't want to just let it all go because you'll be bored in a week. So you still want to reach for the sky and have this big, beautiful, bold life. You want to be successful. You want to keep going, but in a way that is you, that actually represents what you want, that fits with who you are, and that provides you everything you want and the feeling that you want for the rest of your life. This is about knowing that you don't have to choose between success and well-being. You can have both. You can have it all. There is a way to do that. But it doesn't happen without intention. It doesn't happen if you just wish for things to change one day. You have to put into the work to make those changes and to have the tools necessary to actually keep going after. So this will allow you to let go of the self-doubt, of the questioning, of the overwhelm, of the living in survival mode. And it's really going to shift you into thriving and feeling powerful, but also peaceful, and just feeling aligned. I know I've said it probably 10,000 times, but I'll keep saying it. Alignment is what you are looking for. So if this speaks to you, I invite you to reach out to me, because honestly, this is going to be incredible. So I think I've mentioned this already, but it's going to be a 20-week program. Every second week, you're going to have videos to listen to and practical worksheets that will really help you to work through figuring out everything that I've just talked about. Work through figuring out what your vision is, what your values are, how you can fit all of that into your life, how you can be productive in a way that actually aligns with your energy, and how you can feel good with your success at the end of this. And then off week, so every 2 weeks you'll get content, and then every 2 weeks you'll also be part of a group coaching session where we'll just go through everything that you've debriefed, everything that you've worked through over the past 2 weeks. We'll have discussions. You'll get to learn from each other. Like, this is going to be a community of women that are in the same situation, that are looking for this support. So I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. If you would like more information, please just reach out to me. Okay, my thing is going weird. Hopefully you can still hear me. Yes, I think you can. All right, we're still going with it. So if you are interested, if you want more information, I don't want you to think that if you reach out to me, it means that you're absolutely committed. First of all, I won't let you in the program if I don't think that this is aligned to you and if I don't think that I can help you. So there is absolutely no strings attached. I want to make sure that this is a good fit for you. But I really encourage you to reach out to me and tell me what you think. Tell me where you're stuck and let me see if I'm able to help you. So you can either send me a DM on Instagram at empower_L, or you can also go see my website. So on the website, you'll see a lot more information about the program, about what I'm doing, about where I'm going with this, and about if this is a right fit for you. Now, some parts of it are still under construction, but you'll still really be able to see and to get a feel of what Empower L is all about. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that you're able to maybe feel seen with everything that has been going on in my head, to feel like maybe you're not the only one who doesn't have it all figured out, and to see that it's still okay and that you will make it through whatever is happening in your life right now. So keep choosing yourself, your values, and your vision. That is real power. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning into the Empower Elle podcast. I hope today's episode inspired you and gave you practical insights to help you navigate your journey as an ambitious, high-achieving woman. Remember, every step you take towards building your confidence and embracing your full potential is a step closer to creating the life you truly desire. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps us reach more women who are ready to step into their power and live their best lives. Don't forget to join our community on social media for more resources, tips, and inspiration. Until next time, lead with power and live with wellness. You are unstoppable.